Good evening. You're watching the weekend edition of Left, Right and Centre. I'm Sarah Jacob, and the big story tonight. The Congress-Janata Dal Secular Coalition government in Karnataka appears to be teetering on the edge, with 11 lawmakers resigning while the Chief Minister HD Kumaraswamy is away in the US on holiday. One JDS legislator has even claimed that 14 lawmakers have resigned. And if this is true, then the coalition will be close to collapse. The Congress and the JDS together have 116 in the 222-member state assembly, where 113 is the majority mark. So do the math. The coalition will then crash if 14 lawmakers quit.
Karnataka's shaky coalition is facing its biggest crisis yet. It began when a group of coalition MLAs all arrived at the Karnataka Assembly Speaker's office in Vidhan Saudha. Their intent was soon made clear.
What's the reason?
Earlier I made many statements, no? Yes. You can take points from that.
2 Congress MLAs had already resigned on Monday, but then there was a lull until Saturday's mass resignation. Congress troubleshooter DK Shiv Kumar rushed to the spot in an attempt to avert the crisis, even tearing up the resignation letters.
So why should I not? But yes, for emotional, yes, what not? Let anyone file.
Okay.
Any complaint, if they want to put me behind bars, I'm ready. I've taken a very big risk. This is also a very big risk. Definitely, I don't tell no. I know someone has recorded. Let him release it.
Okay.
Then what is wrong in it?
Okay.
To protect my party, protect my friends, I should not see that they have been misguided.
ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅಂತವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಕೊಠಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಸಮಕ್ಷಮ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಒಂದು ಪತ್ರ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಆತ್ಮೀಯನಿದ್ರೆ ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಹೊರತು ಅಲ್ಲೋಗಿ ಕಾಗದ ಪತ್ರ ಅವರ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ಪತ್ರ ಹೊರದಾಕಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬರುವಂತದ್ದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಶೋಭೆ ತರುವಂತದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
Speaker Ramesh Kumar will not be at work until Tuesday, but his office did give an acknowledgement for 11 letters of resignation, before most of those who had resigned headed off to the Raj Bhavan to update the governor about the dramatic developments. 4 MLAs went to the home of Shiv Kumar, raising hopes for a while for the coalition that they might change their mind. But 3 of those 4 later joined the others at the Raj Bhavan. Former JDS State President H. Vishwanath said the resignations were due to the failure of the coalition government.
ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಜೆಡಿಎಸ್ ಎರಡೂ ಪಕ್ಷಗಳ ಈ ತನಕ ಒಟ್ಟು 14 ಜನ ವಿಧಾನಸಭಾ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ಗೆ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಕಾರಣ ಏನು? ಇಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಷಿಪ್ರ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಯ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮ್ಮಿಶ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಎರಡೂ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಬಹಳ ಕಠಿಣವಾದಂಥ ತೀರ್ಮಾನವನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಾರಿ. ಬಿಜೆಪಿಯೋ ಪಾಜೆಪಿಯೋ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
The BJP also insisted that the party had no hand in the day's events.
Yediyurappa is declared as our Chief Minister, so he will be the Chief Minister if the new government is formed.
A deep crisis for the Karnataka government after the resignation of several MLAs from both the JDS and the Congress, putting the government in a very, very difficult position indeed. The MLAs submitted their resignation at the Speaker's office and then came here to the Raj Bhavan. And they say it's because they had lost faith in the coalition government. The leaders of the coalition in a huddle hoping to save it. But this time round, it really looks to be the worst crisis being faced by the coalition government here in Karnataka. With GM Kumar, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Meanwhile, the Congress, after a meeting of senior leaders in Delhi this evening, launched a blistering attack on Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP, saying that the party had orchestrated the resignations.
Ayaram, Gayaram have now attained a new definition in India. The new word for Ayaram, Gayaram is MODI. Mischievously orchestrated defections in India. Modi ji and Bharatiya Janata Party need to be aware that the Karnataka government, which is a joint government having complete majority under our democratic setup by the Congress and the Janata Dal, is now being sought to be pulled down by a spate of defections and resignations. MLAs are being bought in broad daylight. Democracy is being denigrated in broad daylight.
The BJP, though, says the party has nothing to do with the walkout by the Congress legislators. They are also saying that if the government fails or falls, the BJP should be invited to form the government. Well, for the latest on this fast-developing story, let's go across to Maya, who now joins us. Maya, so resort politics now returning to haunt the government there, the Congress government too. 10 of these MLAs are currently en route to Goa, but what are we hearing from the governor? Because the ball really in that court. With the Chief Minister not in town, how does that work?
Well, the governor has said that by Tuesday he will give some sort of decision. Of course, the Chief Minister on a private visit to the United States, he's not here. The KPCC Chief of the State, Dinesh Gundarao, he also had to head back. Ramesh Kumar, the Speaker, saying that he was not going to look at those resignations until he is back at work on Tuesday. So it does look as if the next major step will be perhaps early next week, Monday or Tuesday. It must be remembered, of course, that none of the resignations have actually been accepted so far, including the 2 resignations that happened on Monday of Anand Singh and Ramesh Jarkiholi. So no resignations accepted so far. The ball in the governor's court right now as to what happens. But before that, we have to see the numbers. We have to see who resigns, whose resignations are actually accepted. And yes, most of those MLAs who submitted their resignation, 11 submitted them today, 2 on Monday, although Vishwanath, the former
All right, let's go across. Thanks, Maya. Sorry, we seem to have lost the line there with you. But Maya bringing us the latest on the situation. Basically, maybe we all have to wait till Tuesday. But who's really responsible for the Karnataka crisis? We have joining us K. Rahman Khan, senior Congress leader from Karnataka. We have Vivek Reddy, leader with the BJP. Nasir Hussain, leader with the JDS. And Mr. Pula Rao, senior journalist, joining us here in studio, along with Tehseen Poonawala, also political analyst, joining us here. Mr. Khan, I want to start with you, or perhaps Mr. Reddy. Maybe just go across to you first, because you heard that blistering attack by the Congress. They're accusing the BJP of choreographing this whole episode. And the fact is, if you look at the images coming out, you have these 11 legislators, all of them en masse, going together from the Congress and the JDS to the governor. Really, I mean, there is some coordination. The question is, who's behind that?
You see, there is no doubt.
Well, I think first of all, Sarah, this whole episode is a fallout of the intense fight within the party for the past perhaps 1 year, which has gone on relentlessly. The issues that had been flagged by these legislators have not been sorted out. And the internal rift was so deep that I think it was up to the coalition leaders to set it right. They didn't do anything. And on the other hand, we found that the governance failed, there was arrogance of power, there was corruption, and there was complete disorganization in the coalition. So the legislators, if they have gone out, it is on their own will and out of utter frustration. And
okay,
if
Mr.
they have
Khan,
no other
Mr.
avenue,
Khan,
leaders are not hearing them, then
respond
what do
to
they
that.
do?
The BJP is saying they don't really have to do anything. This coalition is imploding due to under its own weight. And there are all of these reasons. The BJP just needs to sit back and watch.
You see, every party, every government, when it functions, they will have some internal problems, and that does not mean that the government was in trouble. The government was strong. Now, immediately after the general election in the Lok Sabha, the BJP has emboldened, and now they are trying to bring back the Operation Kamala 2 and to come back to the power. And it is the game plan of BJP. The whole country knows about it, how they undertake to bring down the democratically elected government. We have several examples. and they do it in such a way that they have all the power to do it, and they are doing it. Our government even today is intact, and this attempt of BJP will be failed, I am sure.
How? But sir, you know, this it's a year-old coalition. It's been wobbly from the start. There's been revolt. You had two MLAs resigning on Monday. So we knew something was afoot. Still, for example, the Chief Minister is not in the country.
Chief Minister will be coming back. The party is talking to the MLAs who have submitted the resignation, and it has all of a sudden they have taken. The BJP has orchestrated the defection when the Chief Minister is not in town, the Congress President is not in town, and there are some problems. Of course, we cannot deny that there is some internal problem, but that will not bring down the government, I am sure. We are the MLAs who have submitted this resignation is under compulsion. They have submitted. They are lured. They are lots of money has been exchanged.
And how are you going to convince them to stay back with the coalition?
No, they are our strong supporters. They have been in the party. They have come up from the party, and then party has brought them. Whatever they are today is because of the party, and maybe some differences there. We will sort it out, the differences.
Okay, a quick response, Mr. Reddy. Also, the BJP says they're not involved. They have nothing to do with what's going on the ground there in Karnataka, but they're ready to form government. In fact, they should be given a chance to form the government.
I think first of all, sir, Mr. Khan has forgotten one important thing, and he is trying to mislead or not trying to project that. The leaders who have come out today in rebellion belong to one faction of the Congress, one very recognized faction of the Congress, under the name of a very big leader, a big stalwart of the Congress, who is now in the Congress. And I wonder why Mr. Khan is trying to suppress this, because ultimately it might be instigated by the Congress themselves, in order that this government falls and there is no point in continuing this coalition, because it was at the expense of the Congress that Mr. Kumaraswamy was making merry as a CM. So they didn't want this sort of a arrangement. They have pulled the plug under the carpet of Mr. Kumaraswamy. So, this is one. Second issue is, we will not do anything until and unless the fate of this government is known on the floor of the House. If this government has this majority or not is to be tested on the floor of the House. Only then the BJP will decide what is its next option. Till then, I think we will not be doing anything.
Mr. Pulla Rao, coming over here, you heard Mr. Khan saying that they still have, well, these resignations haven't been accepted as yet, and Mr. Khan saying that these MLAs will be brought back. How, I'm not clear, but really it is the end game for the Congress-JDS alliance to actually even get them back right now. We're just continuing on a sticky wicket. Can there be governance like that when you're on such a sticky wicket?
I don't think it's at all possible. Mr. Vishwanath, Mr. Ramalinga Reddy have been MLAs for 20 years, 25 years. They're very senior leaders. They don't need any spoon feeding also, as Mr. Vivek Reddy seems to be suggesting, some conspiracy. They don't need it. Yes, they're independent leaders. They have taken a decision. They have been kept out of power. Ramalinga Reddy is a very big force, as with Mr. Vishwanath. All the other MLAs are seasoned politicians. They have taken a decision, independent in my opinion of anyone. It's for their political future. It does not suit them now to see a government in place where they have no power, no stakes in it. Yes, there are certain other undercurrents. There are no MPs now from Karnataka except one. They feel left out. Siddaramaiah feels left out. They will be happy if the government falls. Those are secondary reasons. But to think that these 12 or 14 MLAs, including Mr. Anand Singh, they are amateurs, they are going to be misled, they are going to come back. I don't think that's possible. They have made up their mind. They are out of power. Now, both the BJP and Congress have 105 and 105 MLAs. The next step is the Speaker will have no option but to accept it.
So it's a sad state of affairs. What it says about Indian politics today, what it says about what our politicians, what principles they have, what conviction they stand for, because now they're out of power and everybody wants to desert a sinking ship.
No, that might be. We can't qualify it. I'm only saying why they're doing it. They want to be in power. They can't see the other factions of the Congress enjoying power and they're out of it. And Kumaraswamy himself is not a very popular figure with Siddaramaiah and others. There are internal contradictions. Perhaps the Congress should have been more active. Perhaps they should have taken into consideration the seniority of Ramalinga Reddy and others. They did it. This is part of parliamentary democracy. I'm sorry to say there will be floor crossing and there will be other things like this. This parliamentary democracy. I think
Tehseen, this is purely a failure of Mr. Kumaraswamy. He has failed in a coalition. You have to learn to take your coalition partners along.
I have a lot of respect for Mr. Rao, but Mr. Rao is clubbing a lot of issues together. Anand Singh, for example, Mr. Rao, you've covered Karnataka for a long time, was a BJP MLA for the longest time. You can't cover him with Mr. Reddy. Those are two separate issues. So you're making a mistake there. I agree with Rahman Khan Saab, for whom I have immense amount of respect. These are MLAs who have been, not just them, their fathers, their grandfathers have been with the Congress for 20-25 years. I have tweeted this today. It is possible to save the government. There are 2 or 3 things you can do and you can save the government. But the one thing that is correct is you still have the speaker with you. You can save this government, and please understand that whatever, this is Operation Lotus Part 2. Now, I will give you NDTV reports where there was a report allegedly of Yediyurappa ji saying that please come to our side. Supreme Court will not do anything. It will be managed. The reports of the Yediyurappa diaries, none of this have been forensically examined simply because that's with the central government. All I'm trying to say is, if Mr. Rao says that this is part of parliamentary democracy, Mr. Rao, with humble hands, folded hands, I ask you, sir, is parliamentary democracy bribing Supreme Court judges allegedly? Is parliamentary democracy about Operation Lotus Part 1, Part 2? Is parliamentary democracy about saying I'm a Chanakya and forming governments in Arunachal Pradesh? And
why can't you hold your flock together?
Mr. Reddy, I never interrupted you. My last line. My last line. I never interrupted anybody. My last line, please. My last line, please. My last line, please. There is an anti-defection law in place. This matter will go to the Honorable Karnataka High Court. If you violate the anti-defection law, you're even in a criminal contempt. Please, a criminal mistake. Forget just a civil mistake. There's even a criminal mistake.
Why are the MLAs ready to risk
Mr. Reddy, 1 second, hold on. Mr. Rao, give you a chance to respond.
That is because of the sort of governance you're giving.
First, let Mr. Rao respond, then I'll come to you, Mr. Reddy.
No doubt, Mr. Tehseen, I also know him, and I don't like to fight with him. But this is parliamentary democracy, Mr. Tehseen. Britain is now having the 3rd Prime Minister. We have taken after Britain. If you want fixed terms, then you go to the presidential system. And perhaps
are they bribing judges in Britain? Are they bribing judges in Britain?
No, that I'm not going to do.
Is Operation Lotus happening in Britain?
Maybe.
That's all I'm saying, sir. I leave it there, sir.
As far as the law is concerned, you have anti-defection law. They want to get around it by resigning. They're taking a very big risk. All I'm saying is, we have parliamentary democracy. An MLA and MP must have the power to cross the floor. Otherwise, the Prime Minister will never be under control, or the Chief Minister will never be under control. That's why we have parliamentary democracy.
All right, now, Mr.
You should give
Mr. Reddy, go ahead.
Some say in the political career.
At the moment, it's illegal, sir.
Okay.
At the moment, it's illegal. You agree with that,
Vivek
sir?
Reddy, go ahead now.
Illegally.
Can I just come in?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I think it is very nice to hear. Sarah, I think it's very nice to hear Tehseen give a lecture on parliamentary democracy here. But Tehseen must remember that it is up to the Congress to hold its flock together. One. The second issue is, after a family holds the largest party in a country for 55 years, what sort of parliamentary democracy is Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla talking about? They held the clout and they made this party a private company.
All right, let's take to Karnataka right now, Mr. Reddy.
And then you are saying you are talking about the higher principles of parliamentary democracy. What is this, Tehseen?
Mr. Khan, respond to that.
Please answer.
Mr. Khan, respond to that. It is the responsibility of the Congress to keep its flock together.
Yes, it is a responsibility. Mr. Reddy should not forget what they have done, what BJP has done in the country to denigrate the parliamentary democracy by engineering defection in almost all the Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, what happened? Shameful it has happened. And they are repeating it. There is nothing wrong. There is nothing new about it. Mr. Yedurappa is very
why are you not
anxious
able to
become
keep your flock
Chief
together?
Minister.
I
See, that is, see, today, you see, I agree. Why are we not? We are, when there is luring with money and money bags and all. Till yesterday, Mr. Vishwanath was the president of the JDS. And he was saying,
Please,
till last week he was saying
all
the
right.
JDS
Mr.
is
Khan, one
strong.
second.
How do
We
you
have
believe
Mr.
such
Nasir
people?
Hussain joining
Don't
us.
give these
He's the leader with the
excuses.
JDS. So let's hear from Mr. Hussain right now. So last 5 minutes actually to you. You've heard all stands here. Where does the JDS come in?
Thank you for taking me in. I have heard Mr. Reddy from the BJP. He's been claiming that it has got nothing to do with the Operation Lotus. But the people of Karnataka are very much aware that Karnataka, Bharatiya Janata Party is into the practice of conducting Operation Lotus. It is not new. Since this new government, coalition government of Congress and JDS has come in, every 15 days, 20 days, there has been statements from Bharatiya Janata Party leaders that this government is not going to last and we are in touch with the MLAs. It has gone to the extent wherein the real audio call between MLA son of Gurmeet Kal and Mr. Yedurappa, wherein they have even taken the name of the speaker, honorable speaker, and it has been debated in the assembly for more than a couple of days. I think the Bharatiya Janata Party is desperate to come to power and see to it that this pro-poor, pro-farmer, pro-people government in Karnataka, a secular government.
But Mr. Hussain, the people of Karnataka, you raised, you're speaking for the people of Karnataka, you say, but they just voted in this Lok Sabha election and the two parties, the Congress and the JDS, got 1 seat each. So the BJP is saying that, look, this is proof that this government isn't
it is very much clear that the Bharatiya Janata Party does not have the clear numbers here in Karnataka.
Okay, fair point. Mr. Reddy, the BJP is saying they should be called next if this government fails. Do you have the numbers? How do you have the numbers? Where are you getting these numbers from?
The coalition government, Congress and JDS, we are...
Well, sir, a short clarification.
The real test, the resignations are not yet accepted.
Correct.
But, see, let us... The resignations are not yet accepted.
Exactly.
And then the test will have to be done in the assembly.
Exactly.
So till then we have to wait. We should not presume that everything is over.
Yeah.
See, the assembly is on 12th.
Sir, can I just come in, please?
Government majority will be tested in the floor of the house. And wait till then, the BJP is in daydreaming and they are in a very big hurry to occupy the government.
No, we are not daydreaming. We have to wait for the floor test.
Quick response, Mr. Reddy, and let's
have to wait for the floor test. But why are people running away?
I'll answer.
Yes, Sarah, I think the MLAs, the representatives are running away from Congress, are migrating from the Congress. The reason is they find that there is no point in continuing with the Congress. They have lost the strength. Congress has lost the mandate of the people. When they have lost the mandate of the people,
last minute,
if the Congress lost the mandate of the people, how 2 days after the Lok Sabha elections it swept the civic polls? If the barometer is Lok Sabha, then the barometer should be the last election, the civic polls which the Congress swept. So end of the day, Assembly are separate, Lok Sabha is separate elections, the Congress is in power and continue to be in power.
Okay, last one, Mr. Pullarao.
I have only one question. Mr. Rahman Khan, my friend Tehseen and others should tell me how they left out Mr. Ramalinga Reddy from the government. His daughter is also an MLA. How do they do these things and then blame others?
They should do that.
So many questions. Who's responsible? We need much more. We need another whole show really to get to the bottom of that. Thank you all for joining us tonight on Left, Right and Centre. Stay tuned to NDTV for more news. That's coming up.